Hey guys, welcome. Video number 2. So, I've checked my first video's engagement, I guess, over the last night and this morning, and I thought it did pretty well. For a starter, I did share it to my Snapchat friends or followers. I would say, they're more followers, but yeah, some of them are friends or acquaintances from school. So, from secondary school. So, I thought I made a video earlier today on my other phone because I realised or I saw that the quality was pretty bad with this phone because I'm recording with the screen and not with the actual camera that's on the outside of the phone so that I can see myself. It's like I'm recording myself with the touch screen part of the phone. And that's why the quality looks the way it does. And this is an iPhone 8 that I'm using and it's got more space on it. So I think it's smarter to use this phone even though the quality is not really that great and the audio might not be as good either, but for a start I think that is good. So I thought of just sitting here again because I like sitting here. It seems more comfortable, especially because I got cushions under my ass. So I'm hoping that my legs don't, that one of my legs blood supply doesn't get cut off. So I'm being careful how I cross them. So this video is going to be about, as I tried to make one earlier, there wasn't enough space on my phone, so it cut off. I tried to make a video about anxiety and COVID, but that got boring. And as soon as I sort of got cut off talking about, what happened to my heart and the checkups I was doing on myself, cut off, ran out of space. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm not doing that. So today I'm going to touch on maybe something more simpler and to the point, which is employment. Something that a lot of people probably struggle with. A lot of people like myself that are looking for work struggle with finding employment, and the fact that it's very hard to find another job. Even if you are in another job and looking for another one, it's very hard to secure a position nowadays in any kind of industry. And that's what I want to talk about and express frustrations. Now this whole video, I don't know if I could put a disclaimer on the start of it text wise, but I'll just say right now, everything that I'm saying on this channel is completely subjective to my own experience. So whatever I say might be different for you, the viewer, or it might, it doesn't represent the actual, facts or large scale of things, if that makes sense. It's just my own experience and what I hear from other people on the internet, on YouTube precisely, and how they're really dealing with it, how they're affected, so it's really just coming from their point of view and I'm just reflecting that and then adding my own sort of 2 cents to it, So as I mentioned on my past video, I have experience in cleaning, not general cleaning, but sort of a bit of housekeeping, but not that much. But cleaning as in waste management, and being a forklift operator and general labour, that's pretty much my area of expertise. Like, that's where I've come from. Those are the sorts of things that I've learnt and that I've tried to do while working. Today I was thinking, where I want to go next is in retail. I really like the job I really want to get, despite like being aside from being a school cleaner or just a warehouse worker again, I'd rather be like, I'll admit that like I would rather be in another work environment that feels safer, that seems more comfortable, or that seems overall just more chill. All right, like I want to be in an environment that I don't hate every fucking second of being there, of my time. You know, like I want to go into something that I really enjoy. And I'm just gonna say something right now. Sure, there's I've come into conversations where, you know, other people have told me, you know, it is a part of life, working hard, sort of, yeah, just trying to stick it out and reap the rewards, whatever they may be. And that is true. I mean, you can stick with something, like stick with a job that long, even if you don't like it. But my point of view is, why do that if you're just going to end up being miserable? You know, like not feeling good about the job. Because if you don't feel good, I believe you're not going to perform good. You know, you need to be willing to be there every day, or the days that you're required to be there. And yeah, even if you don't have to like fully enjoy it, you could maybe, you know, maybe there's something about the job that you like friends, you know, you come across people that you like to work with or whatever. Fucking scam, I just got called and I thought it was an employer. Anyway, yeah, scammer like called me up, I think. So yeah, anyway, I'm sort of like going off topic because yeah, there are things that you can like, you know, about your job, and then there are things that you won't like. But anyway, yeah, my point is that that through my experience, they have, you know, maybe I haven't, like I look at where I've been and I can say, you know, all right, I've learned what I've learned, but it's not really helping me, you know, like it doesn't, oh, aside from the fact that it does not make me feel good going there and working, I just want a job where I could go to it, feel good about what I do. And that's why I think maybe retail customer service is more of my thing. Now, there's different types of customer service, but going into hospitality, say for example, I've done a little cafe trial shift before and it was horrible, and that's not really my thing. So look, like everybody is different, you know, and we all need to figure out what we like. Now you know, we don't always, a lot of us might not think that way, but I think perhaps a lot of people, a lot of Gen Z individuals like myself want to find something that just works for them. At least that's how I feel. You know, like I want to apply to something even if I'm not experienced, and I'll get onto that. Even if I'm not experienced enough for a certain job, I'll still apply to it. But I won't, of course, I'll never get the job because of that reason. I'm not simply experienced enough. Or nowadays, we have very stringent protocols, or a stringent way, more strict than how things were back in the 80s, the 70s, the 90s. Back then, I'm sure it was a lot easier to just walk in anywhere and get a job. Sure, there would need to be a process, a discussion. They would have had to do interviews more manually instead of, you know, over the phone on video, or, you know, booking appointments or that sort of thing. I assume that they might have just had like a sort of interview day and there would be a line of people to be interviewed. I think that's how it was back then as well. But sure, it's like back then, the only way you'd get a job, you didn't have to apply online or do all this stupid shit that you have to do nowadays. You could fucking go to a shop, probably just literally walk in and ask what's going on. You need any help? I'd like to learn this and that. And they might actually give you a chance. They'll give you shit jobs like cleaning and whatever, and maybe setting up the store. But that then soon enough you'll learn, you know, and then you'll become part of their team, selling stuff, helping customers, that sort of thing. But really though, I think that there's too much of an emphasis, or yeah, there's just too much of, like, I think the employers that are in charge nowadays, they really worry too much about, I think, the recruitment process, or a lot of like employers do. And I think all you need to get a job, even in a job like that, sure, you might need experience, and it can be a problem if maybe you're not a people person, or if you're not, you know, but that takes skill, you know. You're not, even if, you know, you're born like that, or you just don't talk to people that much and you might get nervous, you know, maybe you might not do well in that job, you feel, or whatever. It's really all practice. And I think, yeah, like, even if you wouldn't feel comfortable doing that, like, if you put work into it, like, you will reap bigger benefits, because who the fuck wants to go to a fucking warehouse and do all this fucking shit work? Alright, I've been there, I've done all of that stuff. And, you know, I don't know if I'm interested in really going back there again. I'd rather, you know, focus on something new, something that, yeah, again, I'll actually enjoy, you know, that I wouldn't mind going every day to, but I would like to figure out, you know, doing something part-time, you know, but that doesn't matter right now. So there's this whole process, right, that we have to go through, you know. And now that AI is coming into the picture and is being used as a tool to, like, sort of pre-select individuals, or select individuals based on how they respond to questions, or if they make a video, if they become quote unquote shortlisted. I'll give you guys an example, right? Like, I applied to a fucking Woolworths cleaning and trolley collection job, and that's what they did. They have this stupid fucking thing called Sapia AI, where you just, you know, you apply to that, you know, through that, and that thing, this AI, this dumbass fucking AI, fucking assesses your capability for the fucking job. It shouldn't need, AI shouldn't even, like, it shouldn't even be that important, if I'm being honest. Like, it shouldn't be given roles like that where it's able to assess a person's capability for a job. It could get it totally wrong, and a person could type up the right, you know, responses. It's all scripted anyway, so it's not going to be able to just, like, have its own sort of, you know, it's not a human. It can't make as good decisions as a human manager can. I think I would trust a hiring manager a million times more any day over a fucking AI. They would make better decisions, even if I still didn't get the fucking job. They would probably still put more thought into it. You know, that's my point. The AI just gets things done quicker, or these people, they just get all the AI to do all the work to, you know, assess the larger amount of people that don't get shortlisted, which, yeah, saves a lot of time for their business, but still, I don't think it's good. It doesn't give a lot of people like myself a lot of, you know, it doesn't give us a good opportunity to prove ourselves. So that's why I get really pissed off about those sorts of things. It shouldn't be happening. You know, it's happening for that. It's happening for super cheap auto. I've applied there as well. Even though I don't know anything about cars, you know, automobiles, I am, you know, interested to hold a position like that in some sort of trades retail position like that, or an RCA. You know, that would be my dream, to work in shops like those. I mean, I might be better off in a place like RCA because, again, like I said, I'm not a car guy. I don't really know anything about that. Maybe that's more for Michael Joseph. But, you know, man, I got such a hard on for that guy. So, he is pretty hot, by the way, no homo. You know, like, that's where I want to go. You know, like, be in that sort of environment. And I am a bit, like, self-conscious of putting myself out there, especially now that I want a job like that. This might not be a good image, but I'm not using my actual full name on here. I'm just using my initials on my channel, so it's like, it's all good, I think. As long as they don't really, you know, the employers don't really know the initials. But I'm sure, like, you know, most people, I mean, this, like, I believe why I'm saying this. There's a reason for why I'm making these videos, because these beliefs are widely, like, common. They're widely accepted beliefs. I'm not sure if, like, everybody feels the same way about the whole purpose of AI, like, you know, assessing people for jobs and stuff. It gets on my fucking nerves. I don't know about you guys, if you could relate to that. But yeah, it really pisses me off. You know, it's like, I want to talk to a fucking human, man. I want to talk to a person and be able to call them, or have them call me, if they keep me on file, you know? Because, yeah, chances are, if you get called, I mean, you basically got the job. I mean, that's how it's been for me. Whenever I got called for something, you got the job. Like, I went in for an interview, I always got the job. Because I was pretty much recruited. It was pretty much more of a recruitment process. But yeah, usually I wasn't really in a spot where I had to fight for a job, or I had to really, you know, unless it was McDonald's. And I was like, what the fuck is the point of that? You know, working in a shitty establishment like that. And again, these people, they only want young blood, you know. So I had no chance. The way I saw it, I was like, nah. When I was applying, I was like 18 years old, I think. And yeah, I was too old. I think I was too old for that role. And yeah, that manager that was working there was a fucking bitch. Like, you know, I'm just going to say that. She was one of those, like, I don't know, she just had a mood about her. And the interview process, I felt, was not fair. You know, it should be individual. Don't get us to do a stupid... That's another thing too. Don't get us to do a stupid fucking group interview doing... You know, getting us to work with other people using blocks and shit like that. What the fuck is that, man? Like, that was like the first interview I ever went to. And I was so surprised. I was like, this is fucking retarded. What is this, fucking VCAL? Preschool? What the fuck is this, man? And I've been in VCAL, alright? It sort of felt like I was there in, like, where it was worse than VCAL, you know? But yeah, it's like, you know, we should go back to those times where employment becomes more fair. And obviously, look, we should put a limit on immigration as well. We really should. Now, even though I pretty much am, well, if I'm under my mum's side of the family, I'm pretty much a second generation immigrant anyway. Now my dad's side of the family, third generation immigrant. So I got immigrant blood in me anyway, but still I'm on Aussie. I was born here. So, you know, it really, you know, I hate the fact that, like, a lot of, you know, other individuals are, like, taking our jobs as well. They find it easier, probably because people of their race are in those managerial positions. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say what race it is, because fuck YouTube. But, you know, with its racist, you know, policies or whatever. So I don't want to come off too hateful, right? But if you were talking to me in real life, no holds barred, I'll fucking go in and I'll say who the fuck these kind of people are, but you could probably guess. You know, these people are in high positions, they manage to weasel their way in, and they only hire their kind. You know? They only end up hiring their kind. And then you end up with a lot of immigrants, or a lot of their kind of people, outnumbering the Aussies in these, you know, labour jobs or whatever. And I fucking hate seeing that. It's shit politics, man. I fucking hate seeing it. You know, there needs to be like an even amount of cultures, not just like one predominant kind of culture that these people come from. You know what I mean? Like, it should be evenly distributed. Like, you have Greeks, you have Italians, you have like just Aussies, you have like Japanese, Chinese, like whoever else, you know? But like, not just like one whole group together. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't mind like working with a workforce full of Italians and Greeks. I mean, they're the best in my opinion. They're the best kind of fucking people. But other than that, I mean, I am Greek myself, technically. The Gunnis. So, I mean, you look, I mean, I might have a favoritism, yeah, of a culture myself. Yeah, like, I love Greeks and Italians, man. Like, they're the best kind of people to talk to work with, I reckon. Yeah, great bunch. Yeah, I'm going off on a tangent again. Like, I hope this isn't being too long. But yeah, I think I got my main points across, though. It's like, we really have to, there has to sort of be like a reset where we're not using, I mean, even though I'm using my phone right now, I'm using a little bit of an older phone, but, you know, we shouldn't be using technology that much to get into jobs. Sure, it can be used to, or we need to just reinvent somehow the way that we apply, because it's becoming a huge issue. If you know, if these employers or agencies, whoever's advertising, you know, these jobs, the more they get advertised, the higher the chances of more people finding out about the job. And that's the number one reason why you can't find work, because the moment you look at that job, so are 1,000 other applicants or 500 other applicants that actually apply to that job. And I mean, that's why they have AI to do all of that work, I guess. Alright, makes sense. But it's fucking useless, alright? I'm 100% like, okay, these are my opinions, my own opinions, right? I am fully capable of any job I apply to. That is why I'm applying to it. Why else would I be applying to the job? I read it. I actually read the whole job in its entirety, its description, what I'm required to do. Cool, I can do it. It's no problem. Okay? It's no problem. But there's always someone more talented or someone more skilled, perhaps. Because again, we are in a very competitive market. That's really the main reason why it's harder to get a job. Back then in the 80s or whatever, you know, you could, walk up to or see notice boards or look at newspapers, and maybe there would be a few people applying, but there would be significantly less amount of people applying for that same job. And I'm sure it was a lot easier, you know. Again, that's how things worked back then, you know. It's like, you know, our parents, they left their parents at a, you know, they went to, you know, they left at a really young age, right, to take care of themselves with barely any money, and they still got by, and that just fucking blows my mind. They managed to find something, but if you did that nowadays, good fucking luck. It's not gonna happen. It's not. Not unless you know someone, you have great referees, which due to my work history, I don't. Well, probably not. You know, it's not entirely favourable, I would say. But, you know, if you have that, you know people, then you'll get in. You know, and that's half the battle. Then the other half, I think you really, you know, you have to be really interested in the job too to just have a good time with it. You know, it's like, that's how I feel. Like, I want to just pursue a new field altogether. That being, maybe retail trade, or like ROCA or these other places. But sure, there are very limited opportunities, even especially locally. I mean, but yeah, I mean, even all around Victoria, like, it's very fucking rare. Or like statewide, you know, to find any ROCA jobs. I mean, my view on it is it shouldn't be that fucking hard to get into a retail job, because the tasks aren't that hard. All you're doing is at a workbench, at a register, scanning things, especially with technology nowadays, the job's probably 10 times easier. You know, everyone's paying with credit card or debit card, whatever, Afterpay, whatever. You know, you do that, or with cash, then you handle it, whatever. It shouldn't take too long. You can help people, you know, but there's not a lot to it though. There really isn't. You know, half the time you're probably stocking shit or in the back of the house, maybe handling online orders or whatever if you need to. I'd be fine with all of that. 100%. I'd be fine with all of that. You know, doing that every day, it is much more, you know, I'd prefer doing that any day of the week compared to what I've done in the past. Alright? Anyone would say the same fucking thing. You know? After, you know, if they experienced so far what I've experienced. You know, if you've been in a hotel, if you've been in a dump, if you've been in a fucking cold store warehouse, you know what I mean? So, and I have transferable skills that could be used for back of house too. I believe. I don't know the full, I don't have the full picture of what happens, but I assume it's a little bit similar to warehouse work and storage and all that, right? So, yeah, like, that's what I'm more interested in. And if there was just something like that out there that I can get, I would love it. Alright? Like, I would be a shark. Alright? That's what I was like saying before when I thought about this idea. I'm like, fucking, like even though I don't know anything, it shouldn't be too hard. And if I just, you know, get better at really stepping up, you know, and all that, if you just, it's all it is, stepping up, you know, bringing your game to it, bringing the right attitude. Because that, I believe, will take you a long way with anything, really. Just bring the right attitude. And the rest will follow, you know. I mean, like, I know I'm just like bragging about like, you know, how good I think I am, but it's the fucking truth, man. I'm a good fucking worker. And I know I generally deserve better. Like, I'm not asking for a whole lot. I just want like a good position. And that's my point of view on all of this. Like, have a good position where it gives me a rewarding career, and then maybe I'll actually stay there. You know, maybe there's incentive. Even if I'm not earning a whole lot of money, I'd, I'd be pretty happy. Like, I'd imagine that. You know, I really do think that, even though, like, I'm not completely happy right now where I am, it's like, I think things would improve. So, you know, even though, yeah, we're not in a good spot financially, but, yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do about that, but what you could really do is enjoy your life as much as you can at that point. You know, that's my thought process on that. And then, yeah, find a workaround to get rich or die trying. That's the motto. So remember, guys, thank you for watching my video. I apologize if I made you watch too long, but I think this is very important. Very, yeah, interesting to think about. Food for thought. So as always, here's my closing statement. Subscribe, like this video if you want. Get rich or die trying. Thanks for watching.